Yes, Vishali, you can start.
Sure, ma'am. A very good morning to our extremely distinguished panel of special guests, our dedicated university faculty, and my fellow classmates. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. It is with this energy that I welcome you all to the third day of the Entrepreneurship Workshop. Our first speaker of the day is the man himself, none other than Mr. Hemant Suri. Mr. Suri is the co-founder and co-chairman of Omni Equisearch Investments, a patron of the Omni School, the co-founder and co-chairman of Omni Education India, the director of Omni Group of Hotels, and of Omni Builders and Developers. He has had a prolific work experience of over 24 years and has been exposed to the corporate world as a financial technician, equity research analyst, technical trader, and a trading mentor. He also works as a consultant to varied industries and assists companies in making the best and most optimal possible business decisions. He has also done a BBA, an MBA, along with LL.B honors and LL.M, and a diploma in cybercrime as well. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Suri, who is here to speak on the entrepreneurial opportunities post-COVID with respect to family business.
So, on behalf of Symbiosis University, I welcome you all.
Thank you, Ann. Should I continue?
Yes, sir.
Hello, everyone. One thing is common between all of us attending this workshop, and that is we all respect time, as we have started the session exactly on time, and to respect time is the first key to be successful in life. I hope and wish that all of you are in the best of your health and spirits. It's a pleasure to be with you all at this platform of an entrepreneurial workshop conducted by esteemed Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences. I am a big admirer of your university and its founder president, Shri S.B. Majumdarji, as they prepare students in the same manner in which I was brought up by my parents, who always focused on skill development as a priority over formal bookish knowledge. I must be clear that I am no different from you all. I have my own hopes, goals, and dreams. I do have frustrations, struggles, and my own fears. I had some extremely good seasons and some extremely painful ones. I made some excellent choices and some bad mistakes. I am very human and a work in progress. And if I am able to give you some knowledge, it is simply because I focus on my work for the maximum time that I get. Imagine that today's session inspires you to get a world class in both your personal as well as professional life, so that you meet your highest potential and live towards an extraordinary life. During this session, if any moment you feel like asking me something, you may write the question in the chat box or else be free to ask me directly. So although I would be speaking the maximum, this will not be a monologue session. So I hope all of you are ready.
Definitely so.
My father, whom I admire the most because of his integrity and dedication towards all relations he maintains, always say, do anything long enough and you will get to an understanding of the concept and people will call you for a talk show. And here I am speaking with all of you. In short, he says, अपने काम पर पकड़ होना चाहिए. I remember attending such workshops during my study days, and I am 100% sure that they have laid the foundation of whatever I do today. During my graduation, I joined my family business of construction. Thereafter, we expanded into hotels, equity research and investment, marriage gardens, schools, oil and gas. I have always been very passionate about reading books, especially related to economic and business. During my college days, I was very much inspired by a very well-known personality of American stock market, Mr. Warren Buffett, and used to read his yearly letters written to the shareholders, which he released along with the annual report of his company Berkshire Hathaway in Omaha. I was truly inspired and was deeply influenced by his thoughts and the style of working. In fact, whatever you choose to do in your life, just go to the website of Berkshire Hathaway and read all the newsletters. They are available since 1977, and once you read those letters, you will understand the concept of return on equity, power of retained earnings, and the power of compounding. In those days, my father used to invest his surplus money into banks, FDRs, post office deposits, and alike things. And I simply used to keep records into manual ledger books. Although I was fully occupied with my family business, I was very keen to invest directly into the equities of companies listed on stock exchanges. One day, I requested my father to divest all his holdings and suggested that if given a chance, I will fetch far more returns on our investments by investing into the stock market. My father was not very much convinced about my idea in those days. Almost everybody who entered stock markets directly got their hands burnt. He consulted various financial doctors who guided him to invest into schemes of LIC, UTI, and other government banks, but none of them endorsed the idea of investing money directly into shares. In fact, few of them even said it is similar to sending your son into an uncharted territory where he is going to face all sorts of uncertainties and challenges. My father used to tell me, "Putter ek kya line dhoond li? What is the need in spite of having a well-set business?" But looking at my interest and insistence, he got convinced and liquidated his holdings in bank and post office, which he had kept for our long-term future. Maybe I was lucky enough during my initial days of business in equity markets where I made a huge profit, which was a big surprise for everyone. In fact, even the income tax officers got confused by the magnitude of returns I was generating. This initial success resulted into an overconfident me as profits were pouring effortlessly. I over-relied on my strategies and we diverted a huge amount of capital into this business. We started using the easy leverage available in the stock markets. I used to buy substantial stakes into small cap companies and started counseling their promoters to be more professional and legalize their business. Then I used tactics of to market these companies into international arena. I tried to market these companies to international fund managers. I visited many countries like Hong Kong, Germany, Italy, Singapore, Dubai. When I used to enter the glazed office buildings of big fund managers of that time, like UBS, Citibank, I used to get thrilled looking at the series of flashing red and blue computer screens. In fact, it was a dream come true situation for me. But unfortunately, the subprime crisis in the United States, which started from the collapse of Lehman Brothers, shattered me as I lost 80% of my capital during the stock market crash, which was due to the economic recession. I had to make an immediate exit as I had leveraged positions that would have given me much more loss than my capacity, and I would have landed into a negative net worth. This 80% not only included my hard-earned money of several years, but also the initial capital which my father gave me after liquidating his savings done for long-term future of our family. It gave me shocking chills in my backbone. With the remaining funds, I had an option to quit the markets, but I thought that this incident has taught me the correct way to work in the markets. Since I have learned the techniques by paying huge cost, it would be wrong if I quit after learning this lesson. Rather, it is just like a paid course for me which has opened my senses. I decided to restart with whatever was left. My father and my brother supported me, and I started again. I realized that my father was pushing me in the areas where I was going right. He pulled me whenever I was going wrong. Wherever I was over leveraged, he pulled me back. He loved me and supported me wherever I needed. Now that's the beauty of a family which lays the foundation of one's success. This way, I could understand that success is not to have a life free of pitfalls and falls, but success is to walk over your mistakes and go beyond every stage where your efforts were wasted, looking forward to the next stage. And from that time, there was no looking back. And today, equity market is one of the major source of earning in my family. We are clocking in a turnover of 5 to 7 crores on a daily basis. My company is a strong player on Indian browsers and is often highlighted in the bulk deal sections of NSE and BSE, as we do value investment in listed companies by buying substantial stakes in them. Imagine that today's session inspires you to get to world class in both your personal and professional life, so that you meet your highest potential and live an extraordinary life. Before entering into the core subject, there are certain things that you must understand so that you get most out of this session. As you live your days, you craft your life. Your days are your life in miniature. As you live your hours, so you create your years. As you live your days, so you craft your life. What you do today is actually creating your future. The words you speak, the thoughts you think, the food you eat, and the actions you take are all defining your destiny, shaping who you are going to become and what your life will stand for. Small choices lead to giant consequences. There is no such thing as an unimportant day. So, today is an important day of your life. You need to focus on any area of skill with a relentless devotion to daily improvement and a passion for excellence. And within a span of 3 to 5 years, you will be operating at a level of competence such that people call you a genius. Focus plus daily improvement plus time equals to a genius. You need to understand this formula deeply and your life will never be the same. Always remember, every time you say yes to something that is unimportant, you say no to something that is important. So you should know your priorities, know your goals, know what needs to get done over the coming weeks, months, and then years for you to feel that you played the best game as a human being, and then say no to everything else. Surely, some people around you might not be happy, but it's much better to live your life aligned to your dreams and goals and not according to the approval of others. You must keep learning and always continue to wear your student's cap. I have seen too many people, they never pick up a book after they have finished schools and colleges. Too many people spend more time watching TV than getting deep inside the minds of greatest people who walked on this planet. Too many people have closed their minds to new insights and powerful thoughts. One idea which you can discover in a book could transform the way you communicate with people. One idea found in one book could help you live longer and be happier in your life. And this could drive to a remarkable success. You should never leave your home without a book in your hand. And age is no bar to refrain from learning. I recently completed my diploma in cyber law, considering it a new age requirement and feeling that it complements to my LL.B honors and LL.M. Another very important point is to get fit. Getting into a world-class physical health condition is one of the smartest moves that you can make. Exercise will make you feel better, feel stronger, and fill you with boundless energy. staying fit will make you happier in your life. In fact, good health is a crown on head of a well and healthy person that only a sick person can see and miss. You all should learn first, then you should think to earn. To earn, you must learn more. The compensation you receive from your employees, clients, will be determined by the value you add. The more you know, the more valuable you will become. To earn more, learn more, and outperform your competition. Invest in learning and getting your skills to world class is the smartest investment that you'll ever make. A very important part is the power of focus. Whatever you focus grows. What you concentrate on is what you see more in your life. Think about that line. Focus on a financial mastery and you'll see your economic life improving. Focus on being more loving and your relationships will improve. Focus on your physical dimension by exercising and following a superb diet and your health will improve. So the mantra is focus, focus and focus. You should invest in the best. Try to buy highest quality of goods you can possibly afford. It's much better to buy one superb pair of shoes than 3 cheap ones. Naturally, they'll last longer and make you feel great whenever you'll wear them. Delete whatever needs to be eliminated from your life so that you feel lighter, happier, and your mind will experience more peace. The person who experiences wins the most. I wish that you rise and shine in your life. Each day, life will send you small opportunities, and your life will be defined how you respond to these windows of opportunities. Life is too short to play small. You should seize all the gifts and opportunities that life offers to you. With my own personal experience, I can say that you are most vulnerable whenever you are successful. When people succeed, they become complacent, arrogant, and inefficient. Being passionate and committed to your projects will make you succeed. Good things happen to people who do good things. And when you bring your highest talent and deepest devotion to what you do, you make yourself happier and richer in all sort of experiences. You'll always feel better after an ultra productive day. You'll feel better if you go for an extra mile for your customers and you provide them with extra reward. Whatever job you get, try to do in the way such as Michelangelo would have painted his picture and Shakespeare would have written his poem. So I wish that you all be a rock star and give your best in life. Naturally, what you do today will define your destiny. Small choices will make a big difference, and each one of us has a significant power if we choose right. The best amongst us are not gifted, but those people who correctly take tiny steps. You will not understand when the days will slip into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, and they all can take you to the top. Always remember that your mind, once stressed by a new idea, can never return to its original and is always extended. So try to expand your mind towards positive ideas and tips that you are going to receive today. One very important point that I would like to counsel all the students is to cut your expenses on wasteful consumption. You need to invest into good books. I have done it and I have a wonderful collection of books which gives me great ideas. They have shaped me and my thoughts to whatever successful I am. Always remember, if you want to lead, you should read. I had various failures in my life. You need to have skin in the game and understand that failure is the price of greatness. It is an essential ingredient of achievement. So fail faster and succeed sooner. You cannot succeed without taking a calculated risk and leaving your comfort zone. You have to take a calculated risk. Always be measurable in your life. Put 1 feet in water at a time so that you can test the depth. If you are doing what you are doing now, you will get what you are getting. Failures are part of the process which can transform you. Most of the successful people who have failed, in fact, they have failed more than the average people. So don't shy, go ahead and stretch yourselves. Life is full of material things that make the journey better, and don't forget to enjoy the simple pleasures that life offers to you. Take time to think. I meet a lot of successful people and they have shaped my future. Another important strategy to be successful is to take time to think. Thinking ensures that you are on a right path. There is no fun in climbing a mountain and finding that you are on a wrong peak. If you think, your actions will be more crisp, deliberate, and intentional. You will make better decisions and wider choices. There is no point in doing what needs not to be done. So now coming to the entrepreneurial opportunities post-COVID-19. Also, we will discuss how family business can complement and supplement your vision of becoming a successful entrepreneur. Usually, I've seen that family-owned businesses has a majority of control in economic scenario. It's the oldest surviving socio-economic system. They existed all over the world, and around 80% of the business in the world is controlled by families. It's a big contributor to the world GDP. You see Walmart, Samsung, Tata, Reliance, all are family business, which have been professionalized at a later stage. Since India has got a rich and glorious history of families, families like Tata, Birla, Ambani, Bajaj are surviving since more than 3 generations. India, being the land of opportunities, has got many problems, and every problem has a solution which has a potential to give birth to an entrepreneur. We will converse how the entrepreneurship will look like in the post-COVID environment. Within the available time and my capacity, I'll discuss the essence of entrepreneurship, the mindset and the skill sets that are required to be a successful entrepreneur. Also, I'll try to explain you the process of becoming an entrepreneur, and will understand that after becoming an entrepreneur, what impact it will make on your life as well as life of the society as a whole, especially in the post-COVID environment. So we can start by understanding what basically entrepreneurship is and why it is the talk of the world these days. You may look at any economy of the world and try to understand how it moves. You will conclude that it is the entrepreneurs who run the economy. If we consider our Indian economy, we find that our GDP is $2.8 trillion, and a very substantial part of this GDP is contributed by MSMEs. MSME contributes 97% of the industries in India. It provides jobs to 114 million people of India. That's the reason it is said that economies are largely driven by entrepreneurs. If we analyze the growth of important economies of the world like America, China, Japan, we find that there is an entrepreneurial culture that leads rise to these economies. One thing which we have not taught and developed in India maybe due to the cultural reasons, is that we have not taught our children to face failures. When we fail in India, we look at it with a negative eye. We compare our children with those of others, and this discourages them to function in an out of box manner. Due to the failure, people refrain from attempting new things. You must have read in your textbooks that entrepreneurs are daring, courageous people, and it is derived from the French language where it meant military general. And after the fight with Britain for about 100 years, the people who joined military were known as entrepreneurs, and later on, the term was shifted to the business scenario. Maybe slowly after the 18th century industrial revolution, this name was associated with business, and now it has got no relationship with military, but the concept of courage is still there. But to me, entrepreneurship can also be linked to a Sanskrit word, that is antarprerna, which means self-learning and self-reliance. Entrepreneurs like freedom, flexibility, they take calculated risk, build new solutions, and look for new opportunities. They fight old systems, and the aim is not only to create wealth but also do a social welfare. You see any big business of the world and see from where it started. If we talk about Alibaba.com, we see that it all started around 2004. Just during the time SARS pandemic was active in China. If we talk about companies like Airbnb, and rather I would like that the participants should note these companies and try and understand the model of these companies. If we discuss about the business of Airbnb and Uber, we find that they all started during the recession of 2008. The world witnessed the greatest economic depression 100 years back, which was considered the greatest hit to the mankind. It was in 1930. Then the world saw World War. In fact, it saw the Second World War also. But this period saw the creation of certain fantastic companies like General Motors, General Electric, Disney. We must notice that whenever there is a bad time, it is seen that it does not last forever. But whenever bad time comes, it creates certain strong people. We should always look for some brighter side out of the adversities, and still now, since we are meeting in a negative scenario, we must try and look for a brighter side on this adversity also. You will find negativity all around, and we see how we can use this situation to become stronger, resilient, and to bounce back. I would like to explain that entrepreneurs do not do a different job. They do the same job with what others are doing, but they adjust themselves as per the time and adapt themselves. Those of you who are fan of cricket, they must be knowing that Sachin Tendulkar and Vinod Kamli joined cricket in the same year and made record partnerships in batting. Both of them were equally good batsmen who were trained by the same coach, Ramakant Acharekar. Even Vinod Kamli became the fastest batsman to score 1,000 runs in Test cricket. He became the only batsman to hit 4 centuries in first 8 games. He became the only batsman to hit back-to-back 2 double centuries in Test cricket. If you look at the data, you will find that Vinod Kamli was scoring better than Sachin. But you must be wondering why Sachin became more successful and popular than Vinod Kamli. This is because Vinod failed after Indian team's visit to West Indies in 1994, where the Indian batsmen faced bouncers from West Indian bowlers. Now the Indian batsmen were not in a practice to face such bowling, and they had a dismal performance. But after the visit, Sachin adapted to the new situation and practiced to face the new bowling style and calmly did not, which resulted him to be out of the international cricket. Both performed poorly in West Indies, but on coming back, Sachin revisited his skills and started upgrading his skills. He started following certain discipline, and maybe this discipline helped Sachin to rule the Indian cricket for the next 24 years and became famous internationally. So I can explain entrepreneurship in very plain and simple words as thinking something new. This newness, novelty could be a new product, new service, or a new way to solve an existing problem. If you are able to solve an existing problem in the society, you will be an entrepreneur. So, young generation and aspiring entrepreneurs like you should witness the current problems in the society and then search for ways to solve problems associated with these things. This is what entrepreneurs are doing. Just see that it is said that this COVID crisis, post this COVID crisis, 5% of the 75 million MSMEs will be shut. Just imagine if these will be shut, by what magnitude the economy will be losing. So in these tough times, only those entrepreneurs will survive who will revisit to their skills and adapt to the changing environment. That's the reason I gave you example of Sachin Tendulkar, who adapted after various bad experiences and injuries. I hope that this is an example you all will take lesson of. Just find out when did big entrepreneurs strike their best shot. Take example of Apple. Today we see Apple as the world's most successful company, but in 1997 it was about to go insolvent. It was about to go bankrupt. And from there it bounced back. Look at Pepsi, which was bankrupt around 3 times in their history and bounced back from there. What I want to say is that difficult times come. These are the testing times in one's life. So my suggestion to all of you is to develop a business idea from things that you are passionate of. Whatever problem you see in the society, try to solve them with new ideas and by creating something new. This innovation, novelty, newness, that is the soul of entrepreneurship. Basically, it means you need to do something new, either create or find something new to do. It's all about taking a calculated risk, as the chances of getting failed are too high. But if you succeed, then the reward will be much higher. It is more about taking risk, managing that risk, and moving ahead. The startup culture, which has been widely discussed these days, in fact, it has increased since 2014. I remember during the recession in 2008, these startups were starving for money. But dramatically, by the end of last year, we have a large number of funded startups, which were funded by large agencies like Sequoia Capital, SoftBank, Alipay. But because of the pandemic and economic crisis, venture capitalists who have funded have now curtailed these fundings. Usually you will see that funding is not done at once. It is done in a series A, Series B, Series C, which depends upon the performance of the company. It is very much possible that big companies who were funded may not get the Series C funding due to the changing circumstances. Oyo Rooms is a big example of that. Big venture capitalists are in a conservative mode. So funding is not so easy these days. There are 3 impacts of COVID. First one is naturally biological, and the second one is psychological. And the psychological impact has turned people into becoming more conservative. Pessimism is increasing day by day. That's why people are spending after many thoughts. So we need to plan accordingly. And the third impact is economic. In fact, RBI has stated that GDP of the country will be negative if the entire ecosystem is not favorable. And since the GDP is going to be hugely negative, then the impact will be visible. But the government machinery is working hard for its revival, and I am optimistic that as soon as things get brighter, everything will be normal. The door of funding will not be closed forever, but it will require a push to be opened up. As students, are you interested to know the mindset and skill sets that are required to be an entrepreneur? Can I have a feedback from you all so that I may continue?
Yes, please answer, student.
I got a message from Akash Patel to continue. So taking into the, okay, Shali has also, okay, so you are interested in continuing the talk. In case you have any query, you can definitely raise it to me, either by way of writing it in the chat box, or else you can directly interrupt me. That is also absolutely fine. Rather, I would prefer to speak from what you give as a feedback. So moving to the mindset and skill sets that are required to be an entrepreneur. You see that all big names who we see as successful entrepreneurs are not born with skills. And there are certain major skill sets that need to be developed to become an entrepreneur. I'll try and explain few important skills to you in whatever time I have received. One of the major skill that is required is decision making. We have to be a good decision maker and should develop the habit of honoring our decision. Always follow that once a decision made, it's a decision made. Jeff Bezos started a bookshop from garage, and he saw a report in the bank where he used to work as an investment banker that internet usage is going to grow by 2300% per year for several years. And this was alarming to him. He says that he was thrilled on reading this public report and felt that if the sector is going to grow by 2300%, I definitely want a share in it. And he started Amazon from a garage only with one product, books. He focused, and today you can see Amazon selling almost everything. He has taken big decisions. Amazon Web Services are being extensively used worldwide. They are the world's largest web service providers. The entire lockdown has been passed by Amazon Prime and such facilities. So good decisions need to be taken, and we need to learn how to come at a decision. You have to take a good decision, and when you can take a good decision, it's only when you have facts, you are informed, and you have data. So you can take a good decision if you are able to collect correct facts and data. Another very important skill to become a successful entrepreneur is to learn new technological skills. Unfortunately, the curriculum in schools and colleges has not incorporated the new systems and technology. Only few institutions like yours, Symbiosis, has applied new technology. Otherwise, there is a drought of new technology in schools and colleges. Even you can learn new technology with your smartphones, laptops. You have a big power these days. So you need to be technically sound. All traditional businesses are struggling, and only those will be successful who are technologically strong. Lots of open source technology is available. So go ahead, find your passion, and try to learn technology. You can start your e-commerce with a small investment. You can do a lot many things, but it's very important to know digital skills. These days, due to COVID, lots of courses are available and can be a launching pad for your self-dependent business. You create your YouTube channels, Instagrams. I'll suggest let it not be for fun. You can join buyers and sellers to make money. So the first skill that we discussed was decision making. Second is the technological skill. And the third very important skill is basic communication skills. The problem that I find in the last few years is that we don't pay attention to improve our communication skills. It is very important for the entrepreneurs to communicate. They need to communicate their ideas to bankers, clients, venture capitalists. Good communication skills will enable you to connect with all your stakeholders. So these are three broader skills that I suggested you. Apart from them, there are several other things that you need to learn. Learn from the life of entrepreneurs that how hard they have worked. Success never comes easy, and rather it should not come easy. Your reward is directly related to your hard work. In case you have any queries or questions, I'll be happy to address them.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, Vaishali, please go.
Sir, I'm sure that you must have a pretty busy schedule managing everything. What I want to know is how do you find time for your hobbies and passions along with managing everything else?
You see, time and money are just mental blockages. Have you known who was Karsan Bhai Patel?
No, sir, I'm not aware.
See, Karsan Bhai Patel was an entrepreneur. He was the founder of Nirma, who used to work in the state government of Gujarat as a lab technician and went to his office by cycle. And after driving cycle for around 15 kilometers on reaching home in his house, he did some experiments and made products which later became Nirma. He became so passionate to do his work that in spite of having a government job, he was passionate to make and sell his products. So you should understand that time is no foundation for passion. You will get your time from anywhere for the things you are passionate of. You need to think on your idea so much that it starts flowing in your blood. I can remember a quote from Swami Vivekananda that if you make your idea your life, you will be definitely successful. And these days, you have a lot of time. Use this time to explore, make business plan, collect facts and figures, and to design a model of a business. Even I worked on my idea along with my routine work and family business.
Thank you very much, sir. And another question that I have is, what are the sectors where demand will potentially increase and decrease in lieu of current circumstances?
Surely, I was expecting this question as most of the people have this concern that where we should enter, what are the sectors which we should focus upon, where we should put in our efforts. So, in the very short term, you should be prepared for these sectors. Look, hospitality, aviation, they are going to suffer for a few years. Restaurants will suffer, but it's not that they'll be closed. Restaurants have created, even they have created YouTube channels and Facebook pages. They've started giving recipes and training to housewives, and they've started delivering dishes. But there are few industries that will grow multifold, like e-learning. You might have heard name of a tech entrepreneur, Baiju Ravindran.
Yes, sir.
His company has done phenomenally well during this COVID-19. Even if you have some skills, you can train those skills to others. Software industry will grow. You can learn how to create apps, websites. There is no big rocket science. You only have to have a good idea and implement it. You can be a social media consultant. Even medical sector will grow multifold. In fact, Sensex and Nifty, which fell vertically after the COVID-19 pandemic, has bounced back and it's very close to the all-time highs. It is all due to the contribution done by pharma companies and tech companies. Another sector that I can suggest you is logistic. It is a sector where all business will be refined. Short-term courses on logistics will reward you. Similarly, online gaming will be a big booming sector. In fact, maximum gains have been registered by Netflix, Amazon, online gaming industry. So coding, software, even health supplement is a big industry these days. Organic farming is likely to grow. E-commerce will see maximum changes. You see that we had similar crisis during demonetization also, and it seemed that it will be very difficult for the businesses to cope up. But suddenly, Paytm and Google Pay emerged as big solutions. So after financial crisis, new fintech companies came, and now that's the chance of e-commerce companies. They'll be emerging as a big players. In fact, every retail outlet will change the way they work. And I don't see any problem in industries working with necessity items as consumption will continue. Cleaning, sanitization, hygiene, all these industries will be flourishing.
Yes, sir.
There are few more questions according to you, which is most important that shall be maintained in the long run. Akash, you need to see that business can survive in the long run only if it is legitimate. It's my responsibility as a law graduate to counsel all of you that while you enter in the path of business, be it your business, it can be your job, it can be your startup, you will get various options to take a right step and a wrong step. You have to make a choice to select the legitimate path. In case you take a shortcut, illegitimate path, it will be a short-lived thing and you will not make anything too big out of that. Ultimately, it will fail. So always try to be crisp and maintain the law of the land where you are operating. That will give you sustainability.
Sir, after already having done your master's in management, what was it that motivated you and inspired you to pursue law further after your management?
Basically, in India, if you want to become a successful entrepreneur, you need to have a legal sense in you, because there are too many laws. You see, this country was ruled by British for so many years, and most of the laws have been made from that time only. So it's very difficult for a businessman to uh, play safe in an environment where there are various laws, and a scope of challan being a scope of fine being imposed on you is too high. So it's extremely important for you to have a law sense in you. It's not necessary that you go for a degree in law, but otherwise also you need to read to the constitution. You need to be aware of your fundamental rights, duties. All these are very basic, and you'll need them at every step in your life. So for me, since I had a stake in various small cap companies, I used to represent through lawyers in SEBI. So there I found that they were not in a position to explain the entire situation also correctly, and they were not giving enough time also. That's why I pursued this law as a course, and I myself obtained a degree so that I could be present in front of the tribunals where I could present the real situation, what I was facing. So for me, it was a sort of necessity, along with, you can say, it. I got interested into it once I thought of this idea. Another
So
question.
I would like to ask a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So actually, I just want to know that what role ethics plays. We usually teach the students and we teach a child from his birth about honesty, about ethics, morals. But exactly when he enters the real world, he comes to know the reality. So according to you, what role this ethics plays when you talk about business out of books?
Even it is very similar to the way you live your life. If you're if you're honest with your family, if you're honest with your friends, if you're honest with all your relations, you get a feel that you are more comfortable, you are more calm, composed, and relaxed in all your dealings. Similar is the situation in business. If you are ethical, you have got no tension that you are cheating your clients. If you are having a fuel station for sale, and if you are delivering the right quantity and quality to your customers, there will be a different glow and confidence over you, which will uh, definitely give you an enhanced market share also. So apart from having tangible benefits, it's a wider thing. It's a long term arrangement which will make you successful in your life. Being
Okay,
ethical
thank,
is
thank
better.
you.
It is you might feel that the journey is a bit slow, but I can assure you that if you are fair in your dealings, I have seen too many promoters of companies who have taken shortcuts. They have uh, done pilferages, they have manipulated their books, and I have seen them falling vertically down. You just go to any story of a big billionaire who fell apart, and you'll come to know what all it needs to be correct. So you need to the students need to take a correct decision at this juncture only.
Definitely, right. Thanks a lot, sir. Yes, students, any other question?
So,
Yes, Anuj.
so how can hospitality and tourism sector perform in this pandemic?
See, hospitality and tourism has seen the worst of the days. I think that the worst is behind us. Now things have changed. Ultimately, it's not possible for an economy to run without hospitality and tourism. In case you want to establish any factory, any business, any government convention, anything, matlab, it's not possible to go for an election also without hospitality and tourism. So this is an inevitable thing in the economy, and it will revive. The only thing is it is taking some time to cope up with the new normal circumstances, and I think that most of the players have adapted to the new normal, and now sanitization and all other COVID precautions are being sufficiently taken. So I think so that the revival is not very far away. In fact, as an investor, in case you see to the situation, you are getting companies at mouth watering levels. See, adversity is a time when you buy, and there is a greed and fear theory which I would like to share with all of you. Maybe the time is too short. You need to be fearful when people are greedy, and you need to be greedy when people are fearful. So the situation in hospitality and tourism, it has crossed that fear and danger zone. Now I think it's on the verge of a bounce back. Maybe the government needs to help them more to come out of the situation. It's a sector which has been hardly hit. In fact, it was a sector that it was the first hit that came into this sector, and it is the last to recover. But it will certainly recover.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Vaishali, continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Suri. That was immensely informative, and I'm certainly sure that we've all had a lot to take away from your talk. I would now like to welcome our second speaker of the day, Mr. Prashant Agrawal, who is the director of Tirupati Selcom Private Limited Indore, here to share his success story along with the skills required and opportunities available for entrepreneurial ventures. Mr. Agrawal incorporated this company in the early years of 1995-96 while pursuing his graduation. He came across multiple opportunities in the years that came and made sure to make the most out of them. He went on to set up different companies with their turnovers ranging between 2 crores per annum to 200 crores per annum. I now request Mr. Prashant Agrawal to take over.
Vishali, can I have last statement to the students? Will it be comfortable?
Yes, sir, please.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah, I'll be very happy to help you all. And whenever you feel that I can do something for you, kindly feel free to contact me. I can help you in your initiatives, placements, and even connect you with good venture capitalists and people who fund and promote startups. Maybe they can offer you excellent launching pads. You may take my connects from your students as well as your faculty members and let me know where I can help you all. So
That's
I,
extremely generous of you, sir.
so I wish a good luck to all of you and pray to Almighty that you all make us proud. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks a
very
lot,
much.
sir. Welcome.